What's up, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Our Shared Experience. My name is Jesse La Flair. I am a professional parkour athlete, a stuntman. I have been in over 50 major commercials, TV shows, movies. So I am here to try to find my voice, my real voice, because in every other platform that I've ever started, it always starts as me, and it feels very authentic and real. But as time goes on, I tend to fall in love with the appreciation of specific media. And what I mean by that is, like, I'll jump on a platform like TikTok when it was Musically, and I create all these fun videos that I love. It's just me being me. And there's no pressure to perform a very specific thing. And then what ends up happening is the audience comes in and they tend to like something, or something will get a bunch of views. And then we, or I, and hopefully you can relate to everything I say on this show, tend to feed into that. We want to do more of that because I personally am an entertainer. At the end of the day, everything else I do, what I love to do is entertain people and create emotion, laughter, conversations, right? And that's what I end up doing. So next thing you know, because I am a higher level parkour athlete and I've made a career doing that, a lot of my content that gets a lot of views is that stuff, because it is, extraordinary. It is special to a lot of people. People aren't used to seeing someone capable of running on rails and doing all these things up in the buildings and all this stuff. So what ends up happening is I like creating fun, quirky media, and I love to have real discussions, and I am so much more than just the parkour guy, but because the audience responds so well to that, I tend to feed into it. And I'm sure you guys can all relate that I call it the clap effect. I don't know if there's been studies done to this. I think that as children, when we do something and people like it and they clap, oh, good job, we want more of that. And so we do more of that, So if you were athletic and you ran a fast mile and people praised you for it, or if you were smart and your parents actually praised you for being able to read so well. So did we end up going the path we went because people clapped for us? Is clapping the earliest version of likes and shares? I think it is. And I don't know, let me know in the comments section how you guys feel about that. So one thing I want to do with this show is just create a conversation. I never want it to just be me up here talking random thoughts. Although I think the real point of this show for me is a very therapeutic thing. It's finding my authentic self, right? That is why I am doing this. Right now, I'm in a very interesting transitional state in my life. I've accomplished incredible things my childhood self could literally only dream of. So now I'm like, okay, well, who am I, right? Am I the guy that's gotten all these millions of views and millions of subscribers and fans, or like, who am I? Right now we are actually in a studio, my garage, surrounded by paintings. There's probably about 25 to 30 paintings in here that I never really post online. I use sound as a visual medium. There's parts of it, but there's so many of this stuff has not even been shown to the world. So it's interesting to me because I think there's so much more to me than just that one guy. But that guy is the person who I put out into the world. So I think what I want to do with this is really just step back, slow down, and find my real voice. I love having deep conversations and thinking about current state of affairs, things like that. But really, I think there's so much more that we relate to because of our shared experience and the things we're going through. Right now, the easiest example and one of the most powerful things that's happening to literally all of us at this moment is this pandemic, the COVID-19 situation. So it's sad. There's tons of things happening that are bad. People are dying. People have terrible money situations happening, unemployment, all these things. But I think there's some really powerful, positive things that are coming out of it. And that really is the shared experience of this situation. I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but it's something that I'm seeing more and more, and I'm very aware of it, is, I live right next to a bit of a walking path. And when we're out there and we're walking, people are saying hello more often. There's a conversation that is almost wanting to be had, because I think we as a people are able to relate to each other for the very first time. And not only be able to relate, because I'm sure a lot of us can relate on a lot of things, but we are aware that we are able to relate. So what I mean by that is we all know that each other are going through this exact situation. And because of that shared experience, we are more open to seeing each other as equals, right? I had a conversation with my neighbor for the first time. I've lived here for almost a year, and it's very interesting how easy the conversation was to get started, because it's, hey, how you doing? How you guys handling this? There's something to talk about. And I think that because that thing is global, I don't know if let me know if you guys think we have, but I don't know if we've ever really had a global phenomenon like this that has affected the entire population of the world. We've had wars and things, but then you have people on two different sides. You have race and inequality and all these things that small groups of people, large groups of people can relate to that shared experience. But this is one of the first times in our entire globe that we are able to relate to everyone, because we're all dealing with this thing. And it sounds like, that it could be very fear-based, where, oh, there's a person, I don't want to go near them. But I think it's the opposite. I think for the very first time, because we have to be aware of the other person, we are also aware of the other person. And that in itself is like an incredible task, to pop our own bubble and see someone else. We get stuck in our own perspective. And I think that is the thing that I personally have been working on, is trying to really put myself in other people's perspective. But it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of very conscious thinking to not just drive down the road, or if someone honks at you or gets mad, we tend to respond immediately. But it's so much easier to get through life if you try to understand the perspective of the other person that is around you and what they're going through. And the only way to really do that is have a conversation, try to understand them. And but I think, again, this series is going to be, I really stumbled upon the name. I tried to do one of these already. I literally uploaded it to YouTube and was like, I don't like it. There wasn't enough conversation in it. I got lost in thought. It was too many subjects covered at once. But during this talk to you guys, I stumbled upon the idea of trying to use the name of the show being Shared Experience. And when I started to search, I was like, oh, Our Shared Experience doesn't seem to be taken on YouTube, so let me go with that. I think it's a good podcast name. I think more importantly, I think it lends itself to the ability to stretch this. Right now, I'm home. I have about a half an hour in the morning after I wake up, I take my baby. If you guys don't know, I'm a father, a 5-month-old son named River. He's been absolutely incredible, but part of it is scheduling. Oh, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that. So what I end up doing is I wake up early in the morning, I take a steam shower, I meditate, I manifest, which maybe I'll talk about in future episodes, the power of manifestation and what I believe in that. But then I take my son, who was sleeping during that time, downstairs, and I let my wife get 2 full hours of rest, solid hours, because throughout the night we're both waking up. She's feeding him, we're changing him. So during that time, I wake up. I don't know why we're going into my morning routine, but I might as well finish it for you. I actually drink something called Soleil or Soul Water, which is a highly concentrated pink Himalayan salt water. Because I was in the steam shower, I like to replenish those electrolytes and sodium in my body. And then I do a hot lemon water, which actually is supposed to be really good for fighting off any sort of infection, including the coronavirus. And then I play with my son for a little while until he gets tired, and then he goes to sleep. And during that time is where we are right now. I get a small break to come in here, shoot this, talk about my feelings, my thoughts, some of the stuff I processed. I've been having some really incredible conversation with my wife, Brian, at night. The weather's been beautiful, so we've been sitting out on a hammock that I hung on my back porch, or back balcony actually, and looking at the stars, and we just talk, and it's been really powerful. So that's what this is going to be. I hope you guys like it. Let me know in the comment section below if there's any subjects that you guys want me to cover. The beauty of the show, our shared experience, is in the future I will be able to bring in other guests from varied degrees. I think there was a part of me that wanted to do a podcast for a very long time, and it was like, I wanted to call it like, rules of being a legend and bringing all these action sports athletes. But the beauty of this, our shared experience, is it can be anyone. It could be anyone from my life. It could be anyone from the professional career, action sports stars. So it's very exciting, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Thank you for being here early and getting on the ride and supporting it. So if you want to support, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, comment if you guys are listening to this on a podcast. And yeah, subscribe, hit that bell, leave me a comment, and hit that like. Or you don't have to do any of that, because I'm going to keep doing this regardless. So this is for me as much as it is for you. But thank you guys for watching and listening. See you later.